I'm trying to get out of here.
You know, if you only play the audio there, that better sound like.
All right, we back with another episode of the MCU View. This is Los&Bane, and who we got here?
No, act like you don't know who I am.
This nigga
Introduce yourself to the people, man.
get on my nerves. Who he is, man?
If y'all don't already know, it's your boy King CGR. Here one time for the one time.
What if it's 2 times or 3 times?
Then it's 5 times for 6 times.
All right, we gonna skip 4. We saw Multiverse of Madness.
That we did.
Yeah. What y'all think?
Look, man. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Nah, but all right. So the movie in itself, alone by itself,
Yeah.
not taking any other factors into consideration about the MCU, the greater MCU.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked it. I give it like a 8.5, 9.
Damn.
I'm gonna have to agree. That shit was banging.
Okay.
It was banging. I think I do feel like we should clarify that this so far is the most horror type of movie that Marvel has made, and it's fucking amazing.
It had actual horror tropes in it.
Yeah.
For those of you who know Sam Raimi and what his work looks like, they let that man do what he wanted to do. His stamp is all over this movie. There is no doubt about it.
Is this spoilery review?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we spoiled the fuck out of
So there are some scenes in this movie that are very weird and will throw you off guard. And if you don't look at it as its own thing, it might steer you the wrong way as far as like how you feel about it.
Do tell.
The spell when they were casting music notes. The scene where they were casting music notes is the spell. That was just Sam Raimi.
That literally is my favorite fight scene I've ever seen.
But there are some people that have said, or that will say, well, what does this have to do with what? Like, it was out of place. It doesn't match the tone of the movie.
What?
I mean,
let me tell you why I think it matches the tone of the movie. Superhero part of it. He grabbed the notes. It was like major key. You know what I'm saying? The other guy, minor key. Mm-hmm. Clash. It's literally what's happening in the movie.
But it was beautiful.
Yeah, it very much was. I think for that fight scene alone, you really have to look at it from a audiophile standpoint. That is a very visual scene, but it's also very fucking what is the word I'm looking for? Yeah, it's a very audible scene. It's all about the sound. We just gonna have to work with this.
Yeah.
Words come and go.
I know. All right. Without looking at anything of the MCU other than this, I'll probably get this movie like an 8. 8.5. Yeah, I'm on the same page. When I look at WandaVision, I become hesitant. Because looking at this without watching WandaVision, okay. Looking at it with it, I'm like, okay, this is kind of the same thing. You didn't kill anybody. Now you're killing folks. That's crazy.
Well, see, I actually watched someone talk about that. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people were they were iffy about the movie because they felt that WandaVision was showing her going through the 5 stages of grief, and by the end she was done with it, and that this kind of retconned that entire arc.
I don't think it retcons.
It doesn't because of the Darkhold at the end.
I was about to say there's 2 things to that. So she was grieving the loss of Vision,
right,
and WandaVision.
Now she's grieving.
Then she lost her
kids.
children,
right.
Also, there's the Darkhold. She found the Darkhold, and she was using. Well, she got the Darkhold from Agatha Harkness, and she was using the Darkhold. And we know in every type of Marvel media we've seen, we see what happens to people when they use it. Even if you want to go back to non-canon media, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., whenever you use the Darkhold, you became deranged.
Corrupted.
This is why you should watch it.
I have.
You finally watched it?
Not in its entirety, but I know what he's talking about.
I only watched the first 3 seasons, bro.
Oh, God.
No, first 4, because Darkhold was season 4, I think.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, I watched the first 4 seasons.
Darkhold and Ghost Rider the same season.
Yeah,
Listen,
I fell off of it.
they did time travel first, and I really appreciate how they went about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unrelated to this, I still have a problem with MCU time travel as a whole because I don't think the end of Endgame worked.
Wait, what do you mean?
I can't wrap my mind around Captain America being old, sitting in the chair.
I have to agree with him there because
Why?
they clearly define that if you leave, you don't affect what you left. So, by that being said, when Cap went to return the stones, we should have followed Cap.
Okay, this is why I don't have a problem. Because technically speaking, if you go back and this is now your present,
Right.
he's having a whole new thing, just low key. But if it's another timeline now,
That's fine.
what?
But the problem is, we stayed with characters that we had been with, and Cap leaving, whatever he does no longer affects them. That's the rules that they set.
That
What I don't understand.
So basically, when Cap leaving through the time thing that they set up, and then him just living his life through to the present time, it shouldn't have worked because when he left to go take that back, it should have been a split of timelines.
Right.
Because you can't travel back in time to the same. That's not what you're doing. You got to travel to. You're traveling to another part of. You're traveling to another universe.
Wait, when they time travel?
Yeah.
Technically, yeah.
Not yet.
How not?
If they wouldn't have put the stones back and left everything the same, then things got messed up.
Well, see, that's also a problem because how can you take the stone back to where you already took it from?
Whenever you leave,
No, you can
come
do that.
back.
You can do that part.
Like leave, boom.
I don't know if I can. See, it
But the only thing,
complicated.
my only problem is that him staying there should have caused a. Him staying where he was should have caused the. So he shouldn't. I don't think he should have been able to come back to that fix.
The reason why I think it's fine is because he didn't affect anything. He made sure not to affect any outcome of things. And who's to say that whenever we see him on the bench, we're not already in a different timeline?
See,
Look,
I
I'm
just
gonna
don't
let it
know.
rock, and I'm gonna let Captain America have his happy ending. But
We off topic.
yeah, we are.
We off
Nah,
topic.
that's the MCU view.
But
That's all MCU.
that's how I always justified it. I'm like, man, Captain America gotta have his happy ending. Give it to Steve.
Well, back to the Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, standing alone by itself, I really like the movie, and I think the movie is getting unfairly criticized for some things that it shouldn't be getting criticized for. Like, I don't think there's any reason, and like, fuck Rotten Tomatoes, right? We don't really rock with it, but that's the only like valuable metric we have of how who other people care about what they think, judge the movie. It's got a 77.
I feel like that's fine because in my head a 77.
It's good, right?
Yeah, that's
But
in my head.
Marvel movie standard, that's low.
Hey,
You get a boost to 60 just by being a Marvel movie.
Like-
usually with those.
the reason why I feel okay with the 77 because I would give it a 8. So the 77 means like that's just 3 points lower, and in my mind there are parts of the movie where I'm like we talked about it that night. It was like this could have been a little bit shorter.
Yeah, for sure. And I think
So
that's
like some pacing things.
I think that's a Marvel problem too. I think that's a large Marvel problem.
It's even worse in Moon Knight, but we ain't gonna talk about that.
I actually have a question for y'all.
Yeah.
One of the main Marvel movie problems that has been talked about to death as of late is third act finales. I felt like this movie didn't have the problems other movies have had.
No, I do think this movie nailed it in the third act. I do, and I've noticed some third act letdown in some of the Marvel stuff that I like. None of the Disney Plus shows I think have really good finales. Like
I think Loki has the best finale.
Loki is out. That's to me.
I think it's the only one. Everything else is like
Disney Plus, like MCU show, and I think it's like in a category. Like it's so good that it's in a category of its own. But like the rest of them, like the finales are kind of
like WandaVision built up so much that it was just like it did this and went.
It plateaued. Yeah,
and I was like, "This is the finale, okay." And then like Falcon and Winter Soldier, it was cool, but like nothing really.
Falcon is Captain America now.
Yeah,
we knew that was gonna happen, right? But it's like he fought like Batroc the Leaper or some shit. Like we don't give a fuck about that nigga.
That's true. he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Didn't care.
See, my issue with Marvel is that it feels that, well, Disney Plus shows, I'll say, it feels that they're afraid to do the standard multiple episode finale.
Part 1, part 2.
Right. Mm-hmm. And I feel like leaving me in the middle of a battle on a cliffhanger, I can handle it. I already hate the fact that I'm having to wait week by week for the entire season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I'd rather just watch cable and get that with cable. This is streaming. I like to binge. I like to have all my stuff at once. So like if you're gonna do week by week, go ahead and break that finale up so that it's not, you're not fighting to put so much into one story for one episode. And it's gonna be like the last episode.
Yeah, I'm thinking about Moon Knight right now.
I haven't. I got to episode 2 of Moon Knight and I tapped out.
I'm gonna spoil that final battle for you. I'm sorry.
I do not care.
The final battle, honestly, the CGI didn't bother me because most of it is the god Khonshu fighting Amit, and that's going on kind of in the background.
It is a kaiju battle in the background.
It's going on in the background.
So, do the humans see that?
I'm not entirely sure, which I really didn't care about because
I didn't care in the moment because I was like,
I was so pissed that they let first of all, Steven and Mark come back from the duat, and now they're switching personalities like this. They're controlling it. That was in the middle of fighting, it's very fucking useful for them. And then they are getting bested, and we get another blackout for Jake to kick everybody's ass.
We don't see none of it.
And we don't see it.
You're just like, Steven, you didn't do that, did you? Nah, did you? Nah. But we ain't gonna worry about that.
And
then, you just blacked out, bro.
We don't get the actual reveal of Jake
until the
post-credit scene.
I think I read about that. And I do think that a season 2, even though this is a limited series, I don't think they're gonna have a season 2.
Actually, that is another thing.
It used to be a series finale, and they changed it to season finale.
They changed it,
but they haven't actually announced that there's gonna be a season 2.
So if they do a season 2, I think the show will heavily benefit from it. I think that show, with less of those blackouts and less of the unexplained, like can't he see it things, I think it will run more smoothly.
Like my biggest problem is I was like letting a lot of stuff go, but when he was in the duat thing and his soul's balanced, I was done. It didn't make any sense for me.
I wasn't done. I just needed to know where they were going to go story-wise, and they didn't go where I felt it made sense to go. And so I did have an issue with that. I didn't have a whole lot of issues with the story overall, because it's Marvel, they're going to change stuff. But there were plot holes for sure in this series. But
that's the worst one to me.
I also at the same time feel like the emotional appeals in Moon Knight were A+.
Oh, Oscar Isaac was acting.
Oh, I don't mean just that. I mean the episode dedicated to child abuse.
He was acting.
That was a phenomenal. There is an episode where we find out Mark created Steven to escape his mother's abuse to him. And it's basically also probably where we got Jake from, but they don't know that. So it was a powerful episode to me. But
it was nice.
I heard a lot of good stuff about that episode.
That was a good episode.
It was.
Until
they didn't reveal
the
Jake.
soul's balanced, and there's a whole nother personality that just been killing niggas, and you.
Yeah, if there's three things, you can't balance everything between two things.
I was talking to Ebony about it, and she was like, well, she only had two hearts. In my mind, it's just like, she was saying your soul's got a balance or whatever. The soul know what done happened. I don't like, your mind might not, but your soul do. But that's just how I think about the soul.
Oh no, I had that exact same idea the entire time, because after they showed the third sarcophagus, I spent the rest of the time thinking, okay, well, you got two hearts. It's not going to balance till you find the third.
That's what I was thinking.
And it balanced, and I was like, that doesn't make sense. You have hinted multiple times now that Jake is there.
Yeah, the whole Jake thing not coming up until like the post-credit scene, for me is a Chekhov's gun not being used. And I have a problem with that.
You might want to explain to them what that is.
Alright. Chekhov's gun. If there's a gun shown, must be used. That's the gist. We ain't gonna go into depth with this. Alright. We gonna move on from Moon Knight.
Yeah, let's
get back to the strange.
Yeah, let's get back to Multiverse of Madness, because there's a lot of layers to break down there. First of all, what does the implications of freely being able to travel to multiverse? 616. Oh yeah, that's another thing. We've confirmed that the MCU main universe, where we've seen all the action take place, is Universe 616 in the MCU. So
I still don't know how I feel about that.
I'm okay with it.
The reason why I'm okay with it, I've explained this before, is because I now see that the MCU's multiverse is not connected to the comics They're like, the comics isn't an alternate universe to the MCU. They don't exist together. The MCU is its own thing. So the main universe in the MCU is the one that we've seen everything, which makes it 616.
Yeah.
Because canonically in Marvel, the main universe is 616.
I will say once again, that only works for me if both multiverses exist in the Omniverse.
We ain't about to talk about no Omniverse. So, moving right along.
Yeah.
Goddamn Omniverse.
Yeah, we're simply talking about the MCU.
It works for me if they're both in the Omniverse. That's what I'm saying. So, we got the Illuminati. Short-lived, but we got them.
Oh, them niggas got cooked. Hey, if they wanted a way to show how powerful Wanda is, that was the way, in a very cool way that is appealing to fans, that was a way to do it.
Yeah, my only hesitancy is...
No, we're not going to skip over, like, the first death in that, because it switched tone so fast that it felt like a neck snap, no pun intended.
It was like, hey.
And that also happened.
Right.
It was like, hey.
I mean,
he can whisper people to you from his mouth. What mouth?
And we literally heard people laughing at that line, and then we watch a man's head explode, and
It was hilarious.
It was hilarious until his head exploded.
That was also hilarious.
I don't know what y'all talking about. That was very shocking to me.
It shocked me. I went, oh shit! But then
bro. But here's the thing, though. As soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, all these niggas about to die. I was like, these niggas about to die.
I mean, to be fair, I feel like he was the second strongest on the team, if not the strongest.
He was probably the strongest. They use him as the strongest weapon.
As far as like hacks, he was the strongest. As far as like fighting, give it to Rambo.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Oh, she's got fighting, no doubt. But I mean, we have to remember there's 3 very strong members of this team when it comes to powers. Not necessarily fighting, but powers.
Yeah, Professor X and Black Bolt.
Are we not gonna count Maria's powers? I mean, Maria's powers. Okay, well, if we're not counting that, then
You saw what happened.
yeah, she did have the wackest death out of all of them.
Yeah.
She just got.
They would never let Carol die by a statue falling. They would never let Carol die by a statue falling on her.
Also,
that would never happen.
She should have lived.
Marvel, I have an issue with that. You killed
a
black character in a very weak way, which I don't know how to feel about, because I think you tried to play it safe, but I think you might have played it too safe.
Bro, we would not have minded her getting dismembered or something.
I think she should have been disintegrated.
Yeah.
I think the explosion, whenever they powers collided, I think it should have just sent Scarlet Witch back, and she just should have got caught up in it, because her mask had already.
Yeah.
She should have just started.
I think honestly, that's what I thought happened. I thought she exploded, but no, she was still alive, and it
fucking statue. Captain Marvel ain't dying by no statue.
Nah.
So if her origin is the same origin as Carol's,
Tesseract,
yeah, then that means she should have been able to fight physically with Thanos hand to hand and have the upper hand.
The only reason Thanos beat Carol.
Wait, is there a thing where? Is this a thing where if her powers aren't activated, she's just super vulnerable? If the R is not around her, she's just susceptible to anything?
Maybe. I don't think so.
Because she wasn't binary anymore when she was on the ground.
She wasn't, but I mean, Carol has.
I wouldn't know.
In the Captain Marvel movie, she wasn't binary and was able to duke it out.
Okay. Yeah, that statue.
I don't care how heavy that statue was. It shouldn't have killed her. Yeah, because now that I think about it, in the actual, forget Endgame, in the actual Captain Marvel movie, when she went binary, she flew out into space and blew up a whole militia of spaceships.
And she also
in 0.5 seconds.
Yeah, she a lot faster. So I think that they kind of nerfed the hell out of Maria.
You know, I have a problem. I don't think Marvel, the MCU, is good at power scaling. I do not think they are. Every Captain America character fights against the villain way longer than they should be able to. And they're just like, yes, his grit and his will. It doesn't matter.
That's fair.
Because I kid you not, I thought Thanos killed him. In the Infinity War when he punched him, I thought Cap died.
I at least thought his jaw was broke for sure.
I thought he was done.
Yeah, he was. He was just in Infinity War. Thanos was just decking niggas in the face. he loved it.
That was no. Thanos was Devo. He was. Thanos was straight up Devo.
Bro, he punched.
You know who Craig was?
Well, it should have been Thor, but
he ain't aim for the head.
Exactly.
You see, Craig hit Debo in the head with the brick.
Exactly.
See?
Damn.
It should have been Thor.
You win some, you lose some, but you gotta learn to fight another day. He should have ended that fight that day though.
Alright.
Yeah, because there's more Multiverse of Madness stuff that we just are not getting to.
It's a very like small part in the movie. It's at the very beginning, but the questioning of the Avengers, I like it. Mm-hmm. Like, so the only way to beat Thanos was people being gone for 5 years. I like that someone. Yeah, I like that someone brought that up because I'm like, there were a lot of different ways, but like, how many deaths occur in the different ways where they still win? He said this is the only way, and only like one person was lost.
Yeah, I still have a problem with that because I just don't feel that he should have been able to see past the snap. Whether he died or not, I still don't feel like he should have been able to see past the snap.
Okay,
what if he still sees what's going on with him in another dimension, and then he himself comes back to the new dimension, but he's only seeing what happens with him?
The reason, the reason why I think that he should see it is because I don't think they were in the afterlife when they got snapped.
No, even if they weren't in the afterlife, they would have to be on an entirely different plane of existence. And I just don't see how you could see a different plane of existence from the plane of existence you were on.
Seeing your soul.
Nigga, what?
He would have saw when he got back. He would have. So say he was still alive. So he would have just saw a big ass gap for 5 years, and then he would have saw himself come back and be like, "Hey, that nigga dead. We won. All right, let's do this one."
It's just, you can't rationalize it to me. I'm
okay,
sorry.
that's hey.
But that movie was creepy as hell.
Yeah,
I loved it. Multiverse.
Really?
It was kind of
Oh, Wanda coming out of the gong like that for the reflection of the gong, that was very Pennywise like.
Yeah, that shit looked like The Ring.
And the fact that she was pulling niggas through puddles. Come on, dog.
I don't know.
Bro, Wanda was literally fucking melting people in this movie.
Yeah, she was
She burned somebody alive.
she was wild. How y'all feel about Doctor Strange and that third eye? Like, like, is that just him, something with him, or is that the dark hold, him using it and that happening?
Yeah, here's my problem with that.
Because I don't understand.
Like you said, I don't know if that's just a just him thing, because we've seen 2 other people read the dark hold
and not get a third eye.
Well, one of them
got one.
Actually, no, not the 2 people I'm talking about.
Oh, I was just talking about the other Doctor Strange that had the dark hold. Who else read it?
Oh, Wanda has read the dark hold.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, she ain't got no third eye.
Agatha Harkness.
Oh shit! I forgot about that because her fingers was black too.
And to our knowledge, she's had it the longest.
Agatha.
We don't know anyone else who has had it before her. So
if I'm sorry, go ahead.
You good? I'm just thinking like either she has, like Strange has, mastered covering it, or popping it out, whatever you want to call it. That's very weird. But
Talking about Agatha?
Nah, the popping it out.
No, that's what I'm talking about her.
Yeah, either she has mastered it or she doesn't have it. Which we need an answer for that on.
So if I'm just rationalize it for the sake of defending the movie, or defending like the action, Strange is supposed to be the best of us. That's what the Ancient One said. So there's something innately in Strange that makes the mystic arts come easy to him. So he might have been, in his short time with the Darkhold, he might have been able to understand something in the Darkhold that nobody else was able to do. And it might make him be able to use what he learned from the Darkhold in a way that doesn't corrupt his soul. In a way to where he just gets the knowledge and the power. That's kind of what he was doing in the first movie when he was using dark magic from the dark dimension.
I think the dark dimension stuff The ancient one didn't get corrupted either.
Yeah, that's true.
But so I'm completely fine with that. But maybe he didn't get corrupted because it was destroyed and he didn't keep using it.
That's true too.
Because the other one had an eye and he was like, oh, the thing, man.
I have another question.
What's up?
If the most powerful spells brand you, how would the Book of Ashanti have branded Strange? Because the spell that the Ancient One was using from that had her drawn power from the Dark Dimension, gave her the symbol for Dormammu in the middle of her forehead. Strange got an eye, and everyone else got black fingers. So, like, what's the Book of Ashanti gonna do?
Maybe it'll just make you real white and make you extra Caucasian.
From the mighty mountains of Caucasus.
Big yikes.
I mean, it technically is white magic, though. Not like
light magic.
White magic.
Light magic.
White magic.
Light magic.
White magic.
Light magic.
White magic. If I can say black magic, I can say white magic.
I say dark magic.
Rabbit season, duck season.
Tomato, tomato, potato, potato.
Alright.
There was something else that I wanted to bring up.
I feel like I did too, but I can't remember.
I think Dr. Strange just came to visit.